Go to your local dollar store and grab 1 or 2 of these light up candles. Go and grab some fake floral arrangements as well too. These ones are kind of more along the lines of almost ferns, and then this one has these little berries on it. Go and take any plastic off of the fake candles, and I also do have another candle that is a little bit thicker than this one, so we're going to start with this one. So what I'm doing is I'm prepping the surface. Now I'm going and cutting some of these little fake ferns, which these have so much glitter on them. They are really pretty. They're definitely very wintry, but they do get everywhere. Now take your fern, or whatever you're going to be sticking down onto the candle, heat it up, and then slowly start to stick it down. I'm using a heat gun for most of this craft just because it is a bit easier to go and use one. Heat guns though, however, can make stuff really hot, so do keep that in mind whenever you're going and heating up any of your wax. Now for these little berries, as long as you heat the wax, if it's a larger and a thicker one of these fake light up candles, you can just stick it right in. Now for this one, which is the dollar store one, you want to make sure that you tape the bottom. If you get any candle wax down here, it's not going to work anymore. Cut off any extra tape, go and heat up a candle, go and tape the bottom of a container. You can also use a takeout container, just make sure you cut off the bottom of it. After it's taped and sealed, flip it over, and now what you're going to go and do is you're going to go and line up the candle that you have right in the center, and the tape on the other side will help it to stick down. This candle here, I'm just going to go and cut little pieces out of it because it needs to be cut down to go and make it easier to melt. There's a couple different ways that you can go and melt this. You can use your heat gun, which I did use on and off throughout this craft, and it was just so much easier, or you can put this container into some boiling water and let it melt. While that candle wax is melting, I'm going to cut some more of these little ferns, some of these berries, and also to just some of these little plastic pieces that are also on this floral arrangement. What you want to do before you pour any wax is start to arrange everything on the sides. Take your ferns, take your berries, take everything and put it in. Make sure to look to see where there are open spaces, and then start to go and pour your candle wax. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to layer this multiple times. If you just pour it all in at the same time, some of your stuff might start to float up. Continue to go and pour more of this, layer it, and now it needs to sit for at least 24 hours. It's been 24 hours now, so let's go and get this out. Go and move the sides of your container, take off the tape at the bottom. It should take a couple of seconds to go and do. You don't want to crack your candle. Move the container around a little bit, and this should slide right out. Clean up the sides a bit with your heat gun, let it cool down, and now you can go and place these in your home. These light up Christmas candles are so cute, really easy to make, and safe enough to put under your Christmas tree this year. Which candle is your favorite? Have a happy holiday season this year. Thank you all so much for watching.
Today I'm going to decorate pillar candles. First thing I'm going to do is take an old candle and I'm cutting it up, taking the wax off the wick in chunks like that. Then I'm going to put it, this is a plastic beaker, and put the wax in there, and then I'm going to put this in a pan of boiling water to melt the wax. Once the wax has melted, I've poured it into a little paper cup that I can pinch on the side to make a pouring spout, and I've got here a mould of 2 butterflies. And very carefully, while the wax is still very hot, I'm pouring it into the mould. And using a skewer, just make sure that all the little bits have filled up. Don't worry about these bits on the side, we can just remove those as they dry. And then leave that to set up, and it's quite transparent at the moment, as you can see, but once it starts to go opaque, obviously that means the wax is drying. Okay, now when I tap it gently, it's warm, it's not unbearably hot, and I'm going to try now to ease it out of the mould, releasing it from the sides first, and flip it over. There we are. And immediately place it on the candle and press it down. It's still warm, and the heat of this wax on the butterfly is going to stick it to the candle. If it breaks in half, or whatever you're deciding to do breaks in half, it's not a problem. You can just push it together, and you can actually use some of the melted wax on a tiny paintbrush to fix it down. Now that is still warm. That is now sticking to this candle. This is wax sticking to wax. This is set now. It's cold and it's set on there and ready for the next step. But I have poured another butterfly, and this time I'm timing it to give you some idea of how long it takes for the wax to set up. It does depend obviously on how deep your mold is. Some are deeper than others. So I've got on here 2 minutes 33 at the moment. Okay, at 5.5 minutes it came out of the mold. So that will just give you an idea of how long it takes. And I'm going to put this one on the same candle and hold it down. It's still warm, so it will still stick to the candle. So now I'm going to decorate this with some gold leaf. And the first thing we have to do is to apply some size, which will make the leaf stick. I'm actually going to use this gel medium, which is called Tacky When Dry. This works the same as gold leaf size. So I'm going to just paint it all over my wax pieces, trying to be careful and not get it on the candle itself. But as these are so thick, I am taking it over the edge. If you do get some on the candle, we can easily scrape that off afterwards, so it's not a huge problem. Okay, and then I have to leave that to dry. Now the size is dry and it is tacky, and I'm going to take some copper leaf and place it over each of these butterflies and the bee. Got a very soft brush here. You could use a makeup brush and pounce it down. Just remove the excess carefully. Some of it will stick to the candle and to your fingers, but we can scrape that away if you get a lot stuck on. Okay, I'm going to carry on filling in any bits I've missed and cleaning up the bits I don't want that have stuck to the candle, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. And here is my finished candle, all cleaned up now. 2 copper butterflies and 1 bumblebee. And here is another one I did with gold leaf. And here's one I did, a queen bee one, with a crown and a bumblebee. I also tried it on a battery operated candle, and look, it worked exactly the same. Amazing. Now my candle did have a waxy finish to the outside, but it's very exciting. So there you have it, 4 beautiful candles with wax embellishments. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I have inspired you to have a go. I'm Julie McDowell. I'll see you next time.